The NBA playoffs are around the corner once again, which means it's time for the play-in tournament. We have some really enticing matchups for the 2022 NBA play-in tournament this year, that you don't want to miss starting tomorrow. There are teams in here that I think can actually make some noise in the NBA playoffs as we approach that. Let's explain how the play-in tournament works again. On the NBA play-in tournament, let's take a look at the West right over here. Number 7 seed Minnesota taking on number 8 LA. The winner of this game goes straight into the playoffs as the number 7 seed. The loser goes into this bracket here. The winner of this Pelicans versus Spurs game goes in this bracket here. The loser is eliminated. So in my bracket, let's just say that the Clippers win and then the Spurs win. So then Clippers go straight to 7. Minnesota goes here as a loser, and then the Spurs go here. And then the winner of this game right here gets that number 8 seed. And same thing in the West, Atlanta versus Charlotte and Brooklyn versus Cleveland. The winner of Brooklyn versus Cleveland goes straight into that number 7 spot right here. The loser goes into this game right here. The winner of Atlanta versus Charlotte goes into this bracket right here, and the loser of Atlanta versus Charlotte is gone, eliminated. So these two play each other. The loser of this game and the winner of this game play each other, and the winner of this game, they go into the number 8 seed and they'll play Miami. Some teams in here like the Nets, the Clippers, and the Hawks. Obviously last year all these teams made good runs in the playoffs. They were in much better positioning compared to last year. A lot due to injuries this year. They're in the play and they have the long way through. But it's good to see a lot of new teams like the Timberwolves make it, the Cavs after a while. But let's talk about the East play-in tournament games first of all. And, taking a look at my predictions here, in the first game, I got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's a 7 and 8 seed matchup, which is going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central on TNT. And I have the Nets winning that by 6 points. The Nets are a team that I think can make a run. We know all about KD. Kyrie's back after the vaccine mandate. Either, at home he'll be playing. The Cavs, they have great players like Darius Garland, Karis LeVert, Rajon Rondo off the bench as a veteran. But I think the Nets win this. No stress, man, honestly. And then the other game in the East, you have the Atlanta Hawks, the number 9 seed, taking on the Charlotte Hornets, are the number 10. That's going to be Wednesday at 6 p.m. on ESPN. And I have the Atlanta Hawks eliminating the Charlotte Hornets. If you remember the number 9 and number 10 matchup, the winner take all. It's an elimination game. I think the Hawks are a wild card, kind of dark horse team that I think can go far in the playoffs. They've had injuries, Trae Young, John Collins, etc. But this team reached the Eastern Conference Finals last year for a reason. They know how to get it done in the playoffs, and that's a lot due to Ice Trae. But this time they do have DeAndre Hunter. The problem is maybe no John Collins, and that's an issue for this team. Which is why they aren't at the top like they were last year. But I still like the Hawks in this game by 2. The Hornets, they have a lot of pieces like LaMelo Ball, Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges, etc. But I think the Hawks win. I think Trae Young, he becomes ice in the playoffs like he normally does. Now let's take a look at the West play-in games. First of all, at 8:30 tomorrow on Tuesday, got the Clippers and Timberwolves, the number 7 and number 8. Again, winner goes straight to the playoffs as the number 7 seed. It's going to be a great game. I'm definitely looking forward to this matchup. The Clippers, I do think, are going to win this game by 4. They've been persevering all season, even without Kawhi Leonard for the entire season. Paul George, recently coming back, but they are the number 8 seed after all, with 2 chances to get into the playoffs, and I have them jumping on that first chance at beating that Timberwolves team that they made hasn't made the playoffs for a long time. They have veterans like Karl Anthony Towns, of course, D'Angelo Russell. If D'Angelo Russell does not play, it gives a huge advantage to the Clippers. But Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Pat Bev against his former team is something that I'm looking forward to watching. They do have the vets, the Timberwolves, but the Clippers have a whole bunch of more experience. I think the Clippers win in a pressure situation. I'm still not so sure about the T-Wolves right now. LA is still without Kawhi Leonard, so obviously anything's up in the air. I wouldn't be surprised if the T-Wolves do pull it off. But Reggie Jackson, he's been outstanding, being in the backcourt Just been on fire, going back to the playoffs last year. And the Clippers, they'll take advantage using their experience. I think they'll lock down Anthony Edwards as well. And then on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN, we got the number 9 and number 10 seed. Again, winner take all, the losers eliminated, and the winner plays the loser of the 7-8. So both teams, the 9 and 10 seeds in the West, are honestly really poor. Both teams have a really bad losing record, but I do think this can be an entertaining game. Still no Zion for the Pelicans. Maybe he might come back for the playoffs. Who knows? He's just not in good shape. And good news for the Spurs, Lonnie Walker, really good sharpshooter off the bench, should be playing. That's really great news. You have Greg Popovich again. Coach Pop, that's a big reason why I have the Spurs winning this game right now. In New Orleans, they definitely have the playmakers like CJ McCollum, acquired from the Blazers, Brandon Ingram, Jonas Valanciunas, obviously a big acquisition in the offseason. I think the team is really talented in areas offensively, but I just have a feeling about the Spurs. I think they'll pull this one out big time of the season on the line. And so that leads me to our final round of the play-in tournament. We're talking about, I have the Spurs winning in the 7-8 matchup. The Spurs go in the West as number 7 seed, and I have the Spurs winning, and they're going to be playing the loser of that 7-8, which is the Timberwolves. And I do think the Timberwolves are going to be pulling this game out now. I think, the T-Wolves are going to be playing the winner of the Spurs and Pelicans, which is the Spurs. And I think the Timberwolves get the last spot, number 8 seed. They learned from their first play-in game. And I think, Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Patrick Beverley, I think this time they come and they play much better. They get the number 8 seed, and they should be playing the Suns in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. And for the East, the Cavaliers, they lost to the Nets, so they get a second chance here. And the Hawks eliminating the Hornets. The Cavs, they play the winner of Hawks Hornets, and that's the Hawks, in my opinion. The Nets go straight to number 7 and play the Celtics. I think it's going to be a really great game if Cavs versus Hawks do end up happening. I think John Collins might try to play if Atlanta does make it to this game. But I think Atlanta squeaks by in a great game. I think the Cavs, Evan Mobley, I think he's stopped well by former Rocket Clint Capella. I think Karis LeVert, Darius Garland, they both have good games, but Trae Young, man, and DeAndre Hunter, I think he's going to have a good game again. I like the experience of Atlanta in this game, but again, I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland does win this game. But let's take a look after all that at my final standings. Phoenix 1, Memphis 2 is a huge story this year. Golden State 3, Dallas at 4, big problem with Luka getting injured. Utah 5, Denver 6. I have LA getting that 7 spot, beating the Timberwolves tomorrow, and I have the Timberwolves getting that 8 spot from that Friday play-in game. And then in the East, Miami 1, Celtics 2, Milwaukee 3, Philly 4, Raptors coming in at 5, big time for them. Bulls making the playoffs after a long time. Got the Brooklyn Nets, they go straight to number 7. I think Atlanta finds its way to number 8. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to hit the like, subscribe, comment in the comment section who you think is going to win that play-in tournament, and I'll see you in the next one.